Yeah, I'm back, still rising up out these ashes. It is April 29th, 2025, like around 1:30 a.m. Yeah, I ain't been on here in a while, and you know, I think it's a good time to get back on here. I just stepped out the house, get some of this fresh air and this good rain, catch this breeze. About to hit the store before 2 to get something malty. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna jump right to this. You know, the whole self-love that I talk about all the time. Um, on these videos, and when I mention it at the end, which I'm gonna do again, that's my thing, is that there's times when I haven't mentioned it, there's gonna be times where we're not our best self. And that's the times that I've been in for the past few months. It's almost like I've been in like a fog or a daze, sort of like how I'm feeling right now. That's why I decided to step out and go for this cool little walk, you know, to, you know, cleanse my aura, you know. I know I got this umbrella, but I do like to feel this rain a little bit here and there, but I don't want to get soaked out here. Um, yeah, I haven't been putting myself first, you know, you know, with my children almost, you know, I mean, we got 24 hours in a day, like at least, around half the day. Other time, I go get my little coins, and pretty much come home. I don't go out like I used to, which is fine. I mean, I don't know, it's kind of strange, because I used to be out every single day and night. It's free and I don't even know the words, but you guys get it. Night. So, and that changed since probably for about, what, 3, 4 years, you know, around the world shut down. This guy must be making a garden. I don't know if you see. The dirt's tilled. But possum over there. Yeah, out here every night I see possums, raccoons, owls, coyotes now. I've been seeing them for the past couple months. But I digress. Um, I'm just here to talk about it though. Some people come up MIA and, don't be on the channels or, on purpose. And, sometimes it could be all type of things. It could be personal family affairs. Um, it could be jail. It could be a lost, broken phone, no service. It could be almost anything. And although I'm not obligated to say everything, I do need to uh, say what it is. Not everything's peachy and cream, you know. Sometimes you only could do as best you can, you know. Self-love isn't like a button you press, you know. It takes work. That's why I have to say this, because it's like people could be doing perfectly fine, crossing their T's, dotting their I's. We know how it goes. We can go on a good run. Then, you know, life happens, things happen, and sometimes one is not just have a long day, a long night or whatever, and just really get caught up into a different mode, and then all of a sudden you realize, man, I ain't been doing this for myself as consistently. I haven't been taking care of myself the best I could as consistently. I've been doing more for other people first, more consistently. And there's a difficulty when you have to, because when, like, this is just an example, I speak of mine. When you had children and you're in their life, you know, they come first, you know, for the most part. So that means some things I have to go without, like not having free time to unwind, or, you know what I'm saying, or re-energize myself, you know. I would just rather, you know, like I've been doing, I just eat and go to sleep, you know, like, whew, you know. You got a toddler, I got a toddler, you know, and a teenager, so it's just like one going through their stage, want to do what they want and think they're grown. Then there's the other that's just them terrible twos giving you the blues, you know, and can't be mad at them, you know, but you gotta be on guard for them. Like, you know, for example, they're running around, the parent have to be the regulator to tell them cool it down, because they keep bumping into things, they keep falling to them things, hurting themselves, you know, or breaking something like that. So you gotta constantly be aware, you know, can't really let your guards down, you know. So, you know, let's not talk about, then let's say you gotta make a living, you know. You don't wanna be doing the wrong things. You wanna be doing the right things, and stay out of trouble and keep your nose clean. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to jeopardize the foundation, everything you got going. Right? Sometimes it gets boring. You know? Staying away from people that really don't mean you no good, really doesn't bring the best out of you, you know? It's a good thing. That's self-love. However, at the same time, it's one of the things where, you know, you can't risk getting caught up out here, you know, just trying to have some fun out here, or having a spur of the moment type situation. So, what else? So I'm going to work, be tired, don't want to do much, you know. You know, this is just some of the things, you know. Some may not have a car, so it takes you longer to get to certain places. So you have to plan accordingly, because some days you might, you know, you got to set things apart, because if you don't, it'll bring you down if you don't. So that's a little bit what I've been going through. Another thing, I have been rolling, you know. My main lady, she got a whip, so I'll be using it to get to where I'm going here and there. You know, I gotta vacuum it out, actually. You know, I make sure it's gassed up. You know, there's a few times I didn't have no chips to gas it up, but I gave her some money on top of some money, like, you know, for the days that I missed, like 2 or 3 days, and extra, you know, just not just a exact amount, but here's more, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, on the strength, you know, because I ain't about using nobody, playing nobody for what they got, you know. You know, that's just a little sauce-some game for youngsters. If you're using your girl's car, something, you know, put some gas up in that thing, treat it as if it's yours, clean up your mess, stuff like that. You know, your relationship will last a little longer. See what I'm saying? But I digress again. I'm gonna come back, walk across the street, and it's just, I want to focus on what's coming at me. So I'll be back. Don't forget to love yourself. Love yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Start from the inside. Work yourself out. You know, because, oh yeah, another thing. Part of self-love is coming back to the table, the drawing board, admitting to yourself, damn, I messed up, I'm messing up, I'm slipping up. What haven't I been doing for myself that I need to get back doing? You know what I'm saying? What I'm slacking on when it comes to me, this is something that, you know, one must tell themselves, you know, don't just keep spiraling down, you know? Something, you know, wherever you at, you know, get yourself together and start from there and get yourself back, you know, where you're consistently putting in the work to better yourself, you know, more consistently. You know, like I said, things happen. Don't let it get you down, though. Make you feel like you can't bring yourself back up. You see what I'm saying? All right, one love, peace.